Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 11 of our Road to Glory with Kyla Adams and, of course, Summit Wrestling. So, we're up to episode 11. I'd have to say the series has gone really well so far, really enjoying it as well. First things first, let's have a look at the popularity. We are up to 22 in the Mid-South, 21 importance there as well. We've also got, we're just into October. So we're sort of getting towards the end of the year, which is, a pretty important stage of a road to glory with the end of year rolls. Now, I've talked about this in the past. If you've been to the forum, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. I briefly showed it in episode 1 as well. But yeah, at the end of December, we will be doing a yearly roll here to see exactly what's going to happen to Kyla. Now, the other thing I want to do, let's have a quick look at the creative meeting. Our top 3 guys are franchise players, Kyla, Samael, Austin. We've got next big things in Seth Whitehead, Avalanche Decano, and Cobra. Top prospects of Seth, Kid Fantastic, Logan Wolfsbane, Gideon Kato, and Marcel Lafleur. If we go down to Hidden Gems, there are a few interesting people there. Marsh Stranger, I'm pretty familiar with him, had him in my New York City wrestling series. And yeah, I mean, T-Bone Bright is a guy I've never really used. He's relatively good. He's got 70 brawling, which is pretty high, pretty unexpected as well. There's a lot of a few interesting characters out there. Ray Snow's another really good, solid, strong worker, despite not being too much of a star. So we have some options if we want to bring a few more guys in. But let's just get into our first show here. Now, if you watched to the end of last episode, obviously, you would have seen Kyla's ending stats of the episode. And you have to say, he has improved literally leaps and bounds above what was sort of expected. I didn't expect him to grow this quickly. The fact that he's at B+ in a few of his top rows, is finally up to B- in his basics as well, which started very, very low. It's all very, it's very good, but very strange at how fast, he has actually grown. One other thing I wanted to show you. I might not be able to do it now. Let's have a look. I can. So we go to user stats. He's had 70 shows, 70 shows held. Now, he didn't wrestle on every show. That needs to be said. But yeah, I mean, he's well up there. 70 shows booked. And obviously, he has wrestled on quite a few of those. And more often than not, he's pretty much wrestled 2 matches every night. So, very interesting stuff there. Anyway, the main event for this first show, I would love to do this match. Let's see if we can do it. I would really like to have the rivalry sort of continue. Let's see if we get penalized for it. We don't. Okay. I like that. Next match we'll have Takano, and he can take on Cobra. I feel like that's a pretty good match as well. Might actually outshine the main event. And I think we'll have Cobra lose. Alright, so that goes there. We'll have one more singles match, and I think we'll do another. We'll keep with the 6-man tag matches. I kind of like those. Let's have Logan take on Ralph Liotta. Yeah, they've never actually versed each other in singles competition. Alright. 6-man tag. They have Kyler, Avalanche, and Logan. Take on Cobra, Seth, and Ralph. And we need a road agent for this one. Yeah, Giddeo's good enough. He's relatively cheap as well. Probably want to look into getting maybe a road agent at some stage. But at the same time, Kyler's got 84 psychology, so yeah, it's an interesting one. What I am going to do is have Cobra get the victory on Logan. Have that to start the show. And then let's do some angles. So Kyler, of course, with Jenny Playmate. The Cougar herself. And of course, in the last episode, we also signed Steve Dougal, who is our announcer. He's not very good, but he's a rookie, 19 years old. I mean, I may as well show you, just in case, for some reason, you missed the last episode. But here he is. So he debuted. He's very cheap, only $350 per show. And as you can see, he's also really, really bad. But I'm hoping that he'll grow, especially with how many shows we run. I'm hoping he'll get up to at least a C or a C+ in the next, couple of years. So we'll put that angle back there. And then we'll just make this a work the crowd match. Alright, that looks pretty good. Run the show. Starting off with a 40 D-, we've got Cobra, Seth Whitehead, and Ralph Liotta defeating Kyler Adams, Avalanche Tucano, and Logan Wolfsbane in 9:34 when Cobra defeated Logan by submission with a Viper Vice. Apparently Logan was really off his game, and Ralph was the weak link, only getting a 25 in-ring performance. But we also have Avalanche Tucano improving in Rumble skills, so that's pretty good to see. We then go into a 35 E+. We've got Logan defeating Ralph Liotta in 10:08 by pinfall with a belly-to-belly suplex. Not a great match, but, it's Ralph. He'll develop, he'll get better. We then go into a 42D rated angle between Tucano and Cobra. Their match getting a 45D. I knew this might beat the main event. Hopefully it doesn't. I mean, Seth and Kyler should have a good match. They got a relatively hot storyline as well. So, yeah, we have Avalanche Tucano defeating Cobra in 10:08 by pinfall with a Mountain Tucano. The main event angle, getting a 44D, of course, with Jenny in there as well. And we have Seth Whitehead improving in acting. So hopefully that's Jenny rubbing off a little bit on Seth. And the main event, okay, it does about the same. A 42D. We have Kyler Adams defeating Seth Whitehead in 20 minutes, 9 seconds by pinfall with a K trigger. No improvements. Okay. Not a good in-ring performance there from Kyler. Only a 30. Yeah, interesting. Oh, apparently Seth Whitehead was used too much. But we get a 30 E+, which is perfect. Again, that's still going to increase our popularity, which is exactly what we need still at this stage going forward. Alright, so first show done and dusted. Yeah, we obviously took a penalty at the start of the month from the regional battle. So we're a little bit behind where we sort of were, you know, a little bit before the end of last episode. But yeah, let's just keep advancing. We need to keep pumping out the shows. If you could, guys, make sure you smash the like button. Feel free to leave a comment as well, and also subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Hopefully that'll keep you up to date with the episodes coming out in the future. I know there are some of you that have had some really good suggestions recently in the comments. And I think, you know, some of those things will probably definitely happen at some stage. Maybe once we become regional. Ooh, FCW are lowering their production values. I'm assuming that's due to the, 36 D-. We're about to hit E+ for the economy. You know, it's what I was really worried about for quite some time. I'm just hoping that it will sort of correct itself sooner rather than later. I really don't want it to go to 0 and then have to work its way up from there. That would be pretty annoying. Anyway, the main event for this show, we're going to go with Samael, of course, our North American champion. And he is going to take on Greydogsoftware in a 20-minute match. I mean, it's pretty obvious who the winner is going to be in this one. But this, I think it should do really well. Did we slow build it? We did not. Okay. Gotta get used to slow building again. These 20-minute matches. Let's have a tag match. Let's have Marcel Lafleur and Kyler Adams take on Austin Smooth and Canadian Crusher. And we'll have Marcel get the victory on Crusher. I think that's a pretty good match. And then we will do a singles match. We'll have Kyler taking on Crusher as well. I mean, Canadian Crusher's really not too bad. I guess we'll put the other singles match in as well. Austin taking on Marcel. I was going to leave it off, but there's really no point. Good opportunity to give Austin a win. Alright, let's do the angles. Of course, a menace angle for Samael. Chuck that there. Then we need Kyler, Jenny, and Canadian Crusher. I want to do 1 more minute, so we'll cut this down to 9. And then we'll have Austin and Marcel. Alright, perfect. 75 minutes booked. Let's run the show. Alright, so we start off with a 45D, the starting angle between Kyla, Jenny, and Canadian Crusher. The match does relatively well, considering 37D minus. Got Kyla Adams defeating Canadian Crusher in 10:09 by pinfall with a K trigger. The tag match does really well, getting a 44D. Got Kyla Adams and Marcel Lafleur defeating Austin Smooth and Canadian Crusher in 9:50 when Marcel defeated Canadian Crusher by submission with a Parisian chicken wing. Austin with a 49 in-ring performance there, and Kyla with a 43. And we also have Marcel improving in performance skills. Perfect. But a solid rating there, 44D. That actually beats all the matches on the previous show, so very nice. The Austin Smooth Marcel angle getting a 36D minus. Their match does a bit better, getting a 41D this time. Austin Smooth defeating Marcel Lafleur in 9:25 by submission with a smooth hold. And apparently Marcel was off his game in this one. We then go to a 64C Menace angle from Samael the Accuser. Massive angle there. And the main event gets a 42D, pretty respectable. We've got Samael defeating Greydogsoftware in 1959 by pinfall with a Poison of God. And apparently Greydogsoftware was off his game, so obviously going to hurt the rating a little bit. However, we also have Samael improving in performance skills, which is ideal. It is definitely ideal. Overall show rating getting a 33E+. I think at this point we pretty much need to have Samael on every show doing his menace angles. Crazy. 33E+, 3 points higher than the last show. And I have to say, our finances are looking... They're looking pretty crazy at the moment. That's really interesting. I feel like we're about to make even more profit than we did the last 2 months. Or 3 months, whatever it is. Very strange. Again, you know, with the product settings changed from last episode, we're actually more favorable towards sponsorship as well, so... damn it. There's obviously a high possibility that we could be gaining more sponsorship money as well, which is, you know, greatly going to help the bank balance. Anyway, let's do a match between Felipe. Kind of want to do Samael, but I feel like that's a title match. Avalanche Takano. I'm pretty sure we've done this one. We've never done this match. Oh, we have. Well, not a singles match anyway. I'm going to give it 15. I want to do a bit of a test here. I want to see if having a 15-minute match as opposed to a 20-minute slow build is going to be higher or lower in that regard. The other match will have Kid Fantastic take on Kyla. And we'll have one more match. We'll have Christopher Ball take on Samael. Yeah, we'll give it 10. I was going to make it a bit of a squash match, but there's not really any point. Not exactly going to benefit Christopher at all. And we'll do another 6-man tag. All right. Just trying to work out who I want on whose team. I think that works out pretty well. And yeah, we're going to have Samael get the victory. He can pin Avalanche. Yeah, that works out. All right. Let's do our angles. We'll go with Felipe and Avalanche. For the main event. There's that, and we need a menace angle from the champ. Of course, we need Kyla's angle in there as well. And I guess we'll work the show. We'll work the crowd, sorry. To begin the show. Alrighty, let's run the show. It should be a pretty good one. We start off with a 40D- for the 6-man. We got Samael, Felipe, and Kid Fantastic defeating Avalanche Decano, Tyler Adams, and Christopher Ball in 10:27. And Samael the Accuser defeated Avalanche Decano by pinfall with a Poison of God. And Samael was off his game. Got some worker improvements though. We got Christopher Ball in performance skills and Kyla Adams in rumble skills as well. So, yeah, not too bad. Not a great, rating per se, but the improvements are definitely going to help. We then go into a 42D rated angle. Of course, Kyla and Jenny talking a bit of crap about Kid Fantastic. The match does okay, 38D-. Tyler Adams defeating Kid Fantastic in 10:04 by pinfall with a K trigger. No improvements there. We then go into another C-rated menace angle from Samael the Accuser. His match, considering it's Christopher Ball, that's actually not too bad. A 39D-. Samael defeating Christopher Ball in 10:07 by pinfall with a Poison of God. And we also have Christopher improving in performance skills yet again. Which is, it's good for him. He needs it, definitely. We then go to a 49D+ rated angle between Felipe and Avalanche. And the main event does really, really well. A 52D+. We got Felipe Caballero defeating Avalanche Decano in 14:50 by pinfall with a Caballero drop. 50 in-ring performance there from Felipe. And we also have Avalanche improving in rumble skills. So I think definitely keep the matches at about 15 minutes. At least until they build up, better psychology. I think that's the money rating there. 52D+. I think that's tied with our highest ever match. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, end the show. We get a 36 D-. You love to see it. So sick of seeing the red E pluses. But there we go. Again, increasing popularity. That's, you know, quite high considering where our popularity still is. All right, Gidyu wants a bit of momentum at the moment, which is fine. We can do that. I'm a big fan of Gidyu. All right, so we're up to 23 popularity now, which is perfect. We're getting closer and closer to regional. It's really not that far away. We're, what, 7 points of importance? It'd probably be 6 by the end of the episode, or at least the end of the month here. I'm happy with that. That's good. But yeah, we may as well just, actually, I want to look for a new wrestler. I want to look for someone, they can be a little bit expensive. All right, let's make a proper signing. Someone that's, you know, a decent, well, obviously better than decent, a good in-ring worker. I want someone in that can work with Kyler that's, you know, going to be beneficial to him and I guess to the rest of the roster as well, but obviously mainly to Kyler himself. I mean, Bulldozer's probably just a little bit too expensive. Cali Slick is someone I've always wanted to use. I've never just used him though, which is unfortunate. But he's definitely one for the foreseeable future once we hit regional. I think he could be a star. You see there, I mean the brawling's incredible. And of course the star quality, so I think we're gonna try and bring him in once we hit regional. I mean, we had the chance to bring El Medico in early, and I decided against it. And I mean, his price is it's gone up quite a lot. As you can see, 900 per show. I think earlier he was a lot lower than that. Okay. I mean, all these guys are still really, really expensive. We might need to broaden the horizons a little bit. Yeah, I think we're going to have to. I mean, Acid would be decent. But again, as you can see, he will break our owner goal. One thing I do want to do, I want to, yeah, we're going to have to, I kind of want to just keep it to men to begin with. We can always integrate a women's division at some stage, but for now, I just want to just keep it the way it is. Angel of Mercy, he would be very, very decent. 1,000 per show, though. I feel like Angel of Mercy could have some really good matches with Samael. When we're regional, we're coming back to him. Hopefully he doesn't get signed by anyone else in Mexico. And again, everyone here is still pretty expensive. I mean, Burrican Love Machine. He's pretty talented. I'm just against him a little bit because I have actually used him in the past. Bradley. Yeah, I don't think Bradley's good enough. I mean, there are still a lot of guys that are breaking owner goals for whatever reason. Whether it be toughness or charisma. This might have been a bit of a fail. Little Jaguar. Yeah. Interesting. Flying Jimmy Fox. I'm assuming that he was released. Yeah, his contract must have just run out in June. That's pretty cool. Obviously, if you've seen my TCW series, we used Flying Jimmy Fox a little bit. Should we bring in Froshaw? He's 900 per show. Island Boy Apollo. You know what? He would also make a really good, well, possible figurehead if he can improve. I mean, some of these guys are just really not up to scratch. I mean, Kip Keenan, he might be... You know what? Kip Keenan looks maybe the best out of all these. I mean, well, I say that. He's not the best, but he's affordable compared to the rest. That needs to be said. Hmm. Ricky Dale. Interesting. I mean, Rob Reynolds, I mean, he's probably definitely the easiest. I think we're gonna sign Rob Reynolds. Wants 580. I mean, that's actually pretty expensive. But he's worth it. He's definitely worth it. He's pretty incredible. Especially his top row's very, very solid. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Sunny Wildside. I'm assuming his contract is running out. Alright, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let his contract run out with North of the Border. And then we're going to sign him because he's incredible. Look at the selling. 97 A-star. I mean, everything else is pretty incredible. And his flashiness as well. If we can get both of those two A-stars to rub off on Kyler, I mean, who knows what might happen. He's also got star quality and basics. I mean, all round, he's pretty good. Sunny Wildside, wow. Never expected to see him in there, to be honest. Alrighty. I think that'll do us for now. We'll get one person in, possibly two, obviously, if Sunny Wildside, you know, his contract actually does sort of run out. Alright, so we got another pay rise request, which everybody probably knew it was kind of inevitable, you know, an inevitability. I don't exactly know why it's happening, I guess because it's popularity in the Southwest. But I mean, he doesn't actually work for any other companies. I mean, I guess I'll give him 75%. I mean, we may as well. What is he on now? 578 per show, so all of our prices are slowly starting to increase. I'm gonna have a quick look here at Kyler. I'm gonna have a look at those entertainment stats. I mean, they're almost up to a C. I feel like the top row is definitely slowing down a bit. Good to see he's up to B stamina, though. I mean, he jumped up 2 points in charisma. I'm assuming that's because of the Jenny Playmate influence. Yeah, so that's really good. Have a quick look. Bit of a side project is Steve Dougal, and he's actually gone up 1 point in announcing already. He's my side project. I like him. He's up to a 41D, up from a D-, so happy with that. Anyway, let's get into the next show. Hopefully we'll get Rob Reynolds in the company before that one to make his debut. Yeah, here we go. I think maybe once we go regional, we might actually do a heel-face divide. Just going to help a little bit more with storylines and setting different things up going forward. The tag division as well. You want to be having, obviously, heel tag teams versus face teams as well. Alright, nice. Marcel improving his behavior. I mean, the fans are going up. 671 expected. Alright, let's do... Well, we may as well just do Rob Reynolds versus Kyler straight up. I feel like that's easily the smartest match for him to have first up. Yeah, let's do Samael and Bob Casey. I mean, Samael doesn't really need it, actually. Let's not do that. Let's do Samael versus Ralph. Try and get a little bit of stamina rub off onto Samael. There we go. Samael doing what he does best, cracking his knuckles, looking like an absolute badass. As if our main champion is gonna lose to Ralph Leotta. Let's be real. Ralph needs a bit of a reality check, I think. And then the final match, we'll do Gideon Kato, and he can take on... yeah, Kid Fantastic. I mean, he's also a major negative at the moment, which is not great. But it is what it is. Alright, let's do... I'm wondering if I should make this the main event. Let's do that. And then I want to do a tag match as well. I have Rob and Samael team up against Kid Fantastic and Gideon Kato. Actually, let's go Kyla. Kyla and Rob. I'm going to need to make Rob an upper mid-carder, I think. Alright, so that can go... that can go there. Yeah, I think that works out rather well. Angles. So Kyla, and of course Jenny. Get Rob. Pretty sure Rob, yeah, I thought he might be able to do Menace. I mean, we can put it in there, I guess. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, Samael. And I guess we'll give a promo to these two as well. Nice little 6-minute angle for him. All right, let's run the show. Starting off with a 36D- for the tag match. We've got Kyla Adams and Rob Reynolds defeating Gideon Kato and Kid Fantastic in 10:28 when Rob Reynolds defeated Gideon by pinfall with a real deal rocker. And we also have Rob improving in performance skills. Okay, not too bad. 38 in-ring performance there from Kyla. We then go to a 61C Menace angle from Samael. His match gets a 38D- with Ralph Leotta, and he defeats him in 10:01 by pinfall with a Poison of God. Also have Ralph improving in flying skills, so, you know, pretty beneficial for him as well, I guess. Ooh, that's a bad angle. A 28E for the Gideon and Kid Fantastic angle. Their match also does pretty bad, getting a 34E+. Gideon defeats Kid Fantastic in 10:06 by pinfall with a lariat. I'm thinking Gideon might be a little bit behind the rest of the roster. We haven't really used him too much, and he's sort of been a bit of a jobber recently. Anyway, we move on to a 43D. We've got the main event angle. No improvements. And the main event itself does relatively well. A 44D. That's solid. course, Rob on debut as well. So we have Kyla Adams defeating Rob Reynolds in 15:05 by pinfall with a K trigger. We had Kyla getting a 43 in-ring and Rob getting a 40. So yeah, pretty respectable. And the rating was better than the in-ring performances, so I'm happy with that. Overall show rating getting a 32E+. I forgot to change Rob to an upper mid-carder. That is my bad. So he was slightly overused, but again, 32 is pretty decent at this stage. Still gaining us the popularity we need. And now we have Ralph complaining. And we've got some morale issues again. I don't want to get rid of Justice. Let's do this. Do I want to get rid of him? Let's have a look. Yeah, I think I do. There's really just not a lot of upside to him. So I think we'll ship him out. And we might bring in maybe Froshaw. I mean, Gargantuan would be pretty cool. Except for the fact that he's a negative influence. I'd love to have him come in and just absolutely destroy everybody. Become champion. I mean, that would be a pretty good storyline in my eyes. And then eventually have the hero, Kyla Adams, defeat him, ending his reign of terror on Summit Wrestling. Anyway. Possible idea. Probably not going to happen. Alright. Let's book some matches. Let's go Kyla. We're sort of running out of matches. Well, we are and we aren't at the same time. Let's go old school. Kyla Adams versus Cobra. Not going to be the main event. Because I want to save that for someone else. Kind of wanted to leave it blank, but at the same time, going into the big event at the end of the month, of course, the rematch between Kyla and Samael, I want to keep Kyla as strong as possible. And I mean, his popularity is up 3 points, so he's doing work. He's doing work. The other match, let's do Logan Wolfsbane versus Samael the Accuser in the main event. Gonna give it 15 minutes. They've never versed each other one-on-one, so this is gonna be pretty special, hopefully. I almost want to make it for the title, but I feel like that'll kind of put a bit of a damper, considering the next show is actually the big event. So it'll be non-title. And the final match will do Ralph Liotta taking on Rob Reynolds. And we'll give Ralph a victory. We'll give him the win. I feel bad for him. He's our stamina worker that rubs off on everybody else. So we'll give it to him. We'll give it to him. Then we'll do a tag match. We'll have Kyla and Ralph, I guess, teaming up against Rob and Cobra. And unfortunately, Rob's going to take 2 losses tonight. I mean, I brought him in to be a proper worker, but he's at the moment we're kind of treating him as a little bit of a jobber, which sucks. But at the same time, I mean, we kind of need to. Anyway. Alright, so Menace angle for Samael. Give it 8 minutes, I want to see what happens. Then, of course, we need Tyler's angle. I mean, can Ralph talk? Definitely not. Okay, so what we'll do just do another angle at the start of the show. We'll go Kyla, Jenny with Ralph, and then of course Cobra and Rob. Actually, do I want to do that? I'm going to remove that. And instead, we're going to do something I haven't really done too often, an angle after the main event. All right, there we go. And that's going to, of course, lead us into the next show for the title. Let's run it. Looking for a good show tonight, I think. 37 D- for the opening tag match. We've got Kyle Adams and Ralph Liotta defeating Cobra and Rob Reynolds in 9:45, when Kyle Adams defeated Rob Reynolds by pinfall with a K trigger. We also have Cobra improving in both Rumble and performance skills, so really good, pretty interesting. We then go into a 37 D-. We got Ralph Liotta defeating Rob Reynolds in 9:31 by pinfall with a swing neck breaker. No work improvements there either. And then go to a 42 D for the Kyla Adams angle against Cobra. And we also have Kyla Adams improving in acting here. So Jenny Playmate was definitely a really good choice to bring in as his manager. We then go to a 39 D for their match. Kyla Adams defeating Cobra in 9:46 by pinfall with a K trigger. Not the greatest match. I kind of expected a little bit more. We then go to a 63 C for the Menace angle for Samael. His match gets a 48 D+ with Logan Wolfsbane. Very good. We have Samael the Accuser defeating Logan Wolfsbane in 15:20 by pinfall with a Poison of God. No improvements. And the final angle getting a 55 C-, which is definitely going to help all 3 of these guys. Well, the 2 guys, and then I guess Jenny might take a popularity increase there as well. Yeah, 55 C- is decent. Overall show rating getting a 35 E+, very, very close to getting that D-. But that was a good show. Good main event. Alrighty, let's book the big show. What's it called? It's called, Force to Fear. And it will also be Justice Yolson's last appearance for the company as well. I'm looking forward to this, actually. This main event could be really good. Interesting. No one's hiring. We're actually going to make the main event a bit of a specialty match. It is going to be a cage match for the North American title. And of course, Samael taking on Kyle Adams. Give it 15 minutes. And yeah, we can make Takano the road agent. All right, so there we go. That's the main event booked. Let's book a few more matches. Gonna have Takano take on Rob Reynolds. We'll leave this one blank. I want to see what happens. We'll book another match. Actually, let's book a tag match. Let's have the Suffering, who haven't teamed together in a very long time, and they can take on Justice Yolson and Marcel Lafleur. Obviously, the winners of the match, Felipe and Seth. And the loser, definitely Justice. As this will be, like I said, his last appearance with the company. We'll book one more match. One more. Something relatively simple, I think. Let's go Logan taking on Bob Casey. Something easy. And this one can open the show, I guess. Alrighty. Let's put a few angles in here as well. Of course, Samael. Have a promo for Avalanche Takano there as well. And I think if we take 2 minutes off there, yeah, we can do one more angle, and we'll just give it to the Suffering, I think. And see what they can do. Alright, I like that. Generic venue. Here we go, it's on the show. Forced to Fear. All right, so we start the show off with a 37 D-. We got Austin Smooth defeating Bob Casey in 9:47 by submission with a smooth hold. And apparently Austin was off his game. Moving into a 46D. 46D, sorry, with the Suffering Felipe Caballero and Seth Whitehead, which is a relatively good angle. Their match does really well, 49D+. Got the Suffering defeating Marcel Lafleur and Justice Yolson in 10:36 when Seth Whitehead defeated Justice by submission with a Minnesota stretch. And then Felipe was head and shoulders above everybody else, getting a 60 in-ring performance. And of course, the excellent chemistry there, obviously helping them get a D+. We then go to a 53C- for an entertainment angle from Avalanche Decano. That's interesting. His match with Rob Reynolds getting a 48D+ as well. Avalanche Decano defeating Rob Reynolds in 9:51 by pinfall with a Mountain Decano. Very, very good match though. Wow. We then go to a 52D+ for the main event angle. A little bit lower than I sort of expected. But we also have Kyler Adams developing better performance skills. Of course, in his entertainment due to Jenny. And the main event, it tanked a little bit. Only getting a 45D. We've got Samael the Accuser defeating Kyler Adams in a cage match in 15:04 by pinfall with a Poison of God. Samael makes defense number 2 of his Summit North American title. Still, still a respectable rating, but considering a few other matches did a little bit better, it's maybe a little bit frustrating. But that's perfectly fine. I think it's only, 1 point off a D+? Maybe. Anyway. In the show, we get a 34E+ for the overall show rating, which I think it's good. I'm happy with it. Let's praise a few people. We'll go with Kurt. He's got a bit of morale issue at the moment. Austin, and I guess we'll go with Marcel as well. Alright, so there was Force to Fear. And we had Samael making another defense, this time in a singles match against Kyler Adams. And the popularity has gone up to a 24E. And of course, the importance is at 23. So we're only 6 points off regional. All right, let's advance one more day because I'm curious to see how much we actually made in profit. It seems like a lot, like nearly 20,000. Somewhere up there. 22,600. Oh my goodness. It's basically ticket sales. We made an extra 20,000 on ticket sales from last month. We also got a little bit a little bit of a boost in sponsor money as well. Although merchandise went down. Show costs were a little bit more expensive. And then we spent a little bit more on the workers as well. I'm assuming the show costs is because of the steel cage match. I'm assuming that it does something. Anyway. It does cost something, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we once again finished last in the regional battles. And then BCG are going after a few people for touring contracts. So we have indeed dropped back down to 23 popularity, which is pretty frustrating, but it's what we have to sort of expect. We're still gaining popularity each month, but it's hard to take a loss in regards to the actual regional battles that we're losing. considering we could pretty much be gaining like 2 points of popularity each month. As you can see, we're at 23.8 in the Mid-South. So essentially one show and we'll be back up to 24. So that's perfectly fine. Alright, well that is going to wrap up the episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you could smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. And as always, I hope you guys take it easy and enjoy the end screen.